Cool. All right. So do I need to get on YouTube or anything on your channel
No,
or anything?
no, not really.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Not really. I got the whole thing under my control. I'm just trying to wait.
Awesome. Yeah, it gave me a notification that 1 second ago.
Okay. All right, horror fans. Once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G, welcoming you to the conclusion of Women in Horror Black Final Girls Month. This is the live stream, and I have here the lovely, the beautiful, the wonderful R.S. Lewis, better known as Drunken Insominac Writer. Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
Now, obviously, you guys have noticed that I have been going over some of the Black Final Girls throughout the month. This is something I decided to do, and then I decided to bring along this lovely woman here. Just a little bit about yourself, a little background, and why do you like horror, and of course, how did you come up with the name Drunken Insomniac Writer?
Okay, well, I'm gonna do the easiest one. My handle goes way back to like the MySpace days in college. Obviously, that's always been my thing. And when I was in college, I had this thing where I like to drink a lot, but I wouldn't get hungover or anything. Now, one drink and I'm done. Mm-hmm. But I used to drink a lot, and it just stuck. And I'm like, you never sleep. Like all you do is drink, and you're up at your computer. Especially when I got injured playing soccer, and I had nothing to do. So it just kind of stuck. And I was like, okay, that's a cool name. And then it just kind of just stuck. But, other than that, I've always loved horror movies. Horror movies have just, as far back as I can remember, I've loved horror movies, horror video games, and all the like. So being here just doing talking about horror movies is just awesome, like my thing.
Yes. Now, of course, we all know about the trope about the final girl. She's the one that survives, the last one to survive. She survives almost numerous attacks against the killer, and she's the last one standing. Now, we all know about some of the final horror girls, such as, we have Ripley from Alien, we have Sydney from Scream, we have a whole bunch of final girls from Friday the 13th. We have Heather Langenkamp from the Nightmare on Elm Street, and I think it's Lisa from Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5. But they're all white. We all know.
Exactly.
We all know what happens to us black folks in horror pictures. I'm pretty sure. Did you ever see the documentary on Shudder called Horror Noel?
No, but I've seen trailers for it, and I went and got the free preview of Shudder and didn't watch it before my free trial was up. But I definitely want to see it because I saw the girl from The Craft and the guy from Nightmares. They were all talking about blacks and horrors, and a fellow blogger of mine definitely talked about Black final girls and how we barely exist. So yeah, it's definitely one of those things. I was like, I went and did my list, and it was like, wow, it's like pulling teeth, trying to find black survivors in some movies, but we don't really have too many black final girls. And
yeah,
we did because horror. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because when I did my little research, there's very little. There are some that we know of, some that we don't know of. It's like one of the first ones I remember was Jada Pinkett Smith and Tales of the Crypt Demon Knight, and then we have Sana Lathan from Alien vs. Predator. Then we started to get more popular with Naomi Harris from 28 Days Later, and of course we have Halle Berry from Gothica. What others did you find on the list that you have?
More recent, the Dr. Sleep movie, and it's like the young girl that had to go against. She was I can't even remember the actress's name.
Aubrey. I know the character's name. Yeah, I can't remember her name.
Yeah, she's actually, I think she's going to be in more stuff because she was really good, and that was I was like, oh gosh, She survived, and she like I knew her character would survive, but I was just like, oh, yay! And then Escape Room, the girl that was in Escape Room.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Although I did not like the ending of Escape Room, but
I liked them.
yeah, I guess you could call her a final black girl. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What do you think about what's going on now with the resurgence of black in horror film? We have Lupita Nyong'o in Us and Did you ever see Little Monsters?
Yes, yes, I
Okay.
did see that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we have her. We have Octavia Spencer in Ma, which I really didn't like, but she was good in that. What do you think? What's going on with black actors in the days horror now? Are they finally going to get the recognition that they deserve?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely think black people in general are coming a long, long way
Hmm.
in film. It was usually we were either the comic relief
Hmm.
or the person that did something really dumb that we wouldn't do in real life. Like, go check that out, or let me just go outside. And no, first of all, we probably wouldn't be there, but if we were, we
Hmm.
wouldn't go do it by ourselves. So when you look at movies from like the 80s and the 70s and even like some part of the early 90s, it got better. Like you notice that it was a black person that didn't survive. Like even Nightmare on Elm Street, the one with the dream child, the
Yes.
girlfriend of the nurse that was helping, even though she wasn't a final girl, she was kind of more like a helper. She still didn't die. And I was like, yay, yay, I'll take that one. I will take that. So that was pretty neat to see that, and that came out a long time ago. So seeing that, and a few other movies along the way that popped in my mind. Urban Legends, even though it wasn't a great movie, but the '90s slasher genre
Hmm.
of that. Loretta Devine, she didn't die, and who else? Brandy,
Hmm.
my girl Brandy. She didn't die, and I know she did last summer. So it's getting a little better over the years. But I still think um, if it wasn't for like movies like what Jordan Peele is doing with the new Candyman and even the old Candyman, the actress from that, Vanessa A. Williams, she survived. But I
Hmm.
think it's getting better. We still leading role. Like we have sidekick roles and we're surviving in the movie, but we're still not the leading characters. And I think it's getting better, but it's not where it should be. But it's
Yeah.
definitely getting better.
Yeah, I agree because one of the things I find quite surprising was when I was researching some of the Find the Black Girls, and especially when it came to Saint Lathan with Alien versus Predator. One of the reasons why they
Yeah.
decided to cast her was because they didn't want a Ripley clone, and they didn't want her. They
Yeah.
didn't want a Ripley clone because if they would have picked because when you look at her character, any actress could have played her. But the fact they actually decided to pick her because they did not want someone to be the same as Ripley. And I'm pretty sure if they didn't they would have cast a white actress, I don't think the movie wouldn't have been as good. And they would have said, oh, she's just a Ripley clone.
Exactly. Exactly. I think she was a good choice. And I like her anyway. That's like my girl crush all the way, always has been. So um seeing Sanaa Lathan in that role, that's what made me go see it. Even though it probably isn't the greatest in either franchise, still
Mm-hmm.
to me, I definitely liked it better than that AVP or Requiem or whatever that travesty. That's oh my god! Don't get me started on that movie. So we're not even going to talk about it. We're going to leave that over there. We're not even going to talk about that movie. So
Oh
just her
man.
being in good, but yeah.
No,
I
trust me, we want to talk about that trash movie. Um,
the movie was dark. Like to watch that movie is like you got to turn the brightness all the way up and the contrast all the way down just to kind of see what's going on in the movie. Like, wait, that's
One of the things I find fascinating is that we really don't get to see a black actress in a horror movie that's the bad girl. I mean, I don't remember seeing. I know there have been plenty of them there. I mean, when it's like back during the '70s when we had. Did you ever see the black exploitation film called Abby? You know,
No,
sort
but
of.
I've heard.
It's a ripoff of The Exorcist. It's about this girl, the black girl. She becomes possessed by some, I think, a voodoo priestess, and it's definitely a ripoff of a black quotation film of The Exorcist. That's basically what it is.
Mhm.
I can't remember a black actress who was the bad guy, and other than Mom, Octavia
Yeah.
Spencer. I'm trying to think. Do you remember any of a black actress in a horror movie where she's actually the bad guy or the killer? And I'm not
Not
talking. And I'm not talking
mm.
about those stupid thriller movies like When the Bow Breaks or Obsession.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what about it? You mean a Tyler Perry movie or something like that? We got
I wouldn't
plenty.
even call them Tyler Perry movies because they're so.
Oh gosh, like yeah, you always got the one, and yeah, that's pretty much where they think that's those are the types of movies that they market towards us. There are plenty of bad black people, women, but not too many in horror movies. Like I'll probably have to go and Google it real quick because there's really not that many. Like in TV shows, yeah, but not so much in movies. You don't get too many black villains in horror movies now, and you got to do something stupid, and you can't wait for your behinds to get off. But other than that, no, not really.
You know, why do they think when you take a look at pictures like When the Bow Breaks or what was that movie that starred darn it, I can't remember the actress's name. It was Michael Early. He was an obsessed he was almost like an obsessed dude. I can't remember the name of the picture, but
Yeah,
I think
yeah, he was good and crazy in that movie. He was that Michael Ealy was in. He was in. I know it'll come to me, but yeah, I saw that. I definitely didn't see that, and I was like, he was hiding under the bed while she. Oh my god! So yeah, they stuff like that, like stalker movies, and
yeah, but why they think we want to be in movies like that?
I think they market that towards like my age group, my like women my age, and they think, oh, I want to see. We want the drama, and not so much, not true. And it's sad, it sucks, but what are you gonna do? And I don't know why. And it's like I think they just kind of like are looking for the urban dollar. Now, oh, wait a minute, I did get a black villain. Aaliyah Queen, although the book, she's not black, but she is the villain and she is black, so it did pop in my mind. So that's the only one that comes to my mind was
What movie was that?
Damn. Queen of the Dam, the
you're talking about yeah, Leah.
The movie, yeah, not the book. She
yeah,
played Queen, who
yeah,
was a
because she's
baddie.
not. Yeah, she's a bad in the book, but not in the movie. But yeah, but not. I don't know. Yeah,
She wasn't
I was okay.
Yeah,
I was okay.
yeah, that was cool, and it made sense because all right, she's supposed to be this queen in somewhere near Egypt on the continent of Africa, and I remember the doctor saying, "Well, I want the characters to be of African descent." So instead of who Anne Rice described in the book versus who they cast, I think it worked better on screen. And Aaliyah was great. I loved her in that movie.
Yeah,
so she is
was
few villains that I can think of in the horror movie. Yeah.
Yeah, because when I think of black guys in horror movies, the first one comes to mind is Snoop Dogg and Bones.
Yeah. So yeah, you got Bones, and that's really it. Oh, wait a minute. Death by Temptation.
Yeah, I never saw that.
Yeah, that was with the guy from Kadeem Hardison was in it, and some other
Different World.
Yeah, and Radio Raheem. I can't remember his real name. He just passed away a few years ago. But that was a good movie.
Was that Bill Nunn? It was his name, Bill Nunn.
I think so. Yeah. But I remember seeing it. It was on VHS, and it was one of those movies that was in the house. And when I watched it, I was like, "Ooh, I don't think I'm supposed to watch this," but I watched it anyway. But yeah, the chick in that, she was a succubus, incubus, one of those, and she.
Yeah, I remember it's supposed to be a succubus. We do have some people in the chat that are saying hi to you. First of all, local mobster, his name is Troy. He said hi. The horror fan said hi.
Hello. My kid was supposed to be here and just pop on. I'm about to text him like, hey, get on the thing, ask some questions. But she's not yet. I don't know what she's doing. She's
No.
off being a teenager.
Yeah, well, that's what teenagers do. Yeah, because like I said, when I was researching Jada Pinkett in Tales of the Crypt Demon Knight, and one of the reasons why I liked her character was because one of the problems that we see, particularly in the early '80s slasher films, is that we were always we had black people playing the stereotypical black person. And what I liked about her character was the fact that she wasn't the stereotypical black girl. Yeah, she was in trouble and she's trying to do the right thing. And I liked how her character was, especially when she tried to protect the kid, Danny, in the film. So that's one of the great things I liked about that character, because she wasn't the stereotypical black person.
Yeah, exactly. So I dig that. I think that was actually cool to have her in that role. And that was at the height of her career too. Oh yeah.
Definitely. Actually, yeah, she had just started out when that role came out, before she actually became famous, even before she met Will.
Yeah, oh yeah. This was before she had Smith on, and I think that was before Set It Off. It was before
it was before Set It Off.
Yeah, and Menace to Society, she was in that too. So it's definitely right before all of that, or around that same time frame.
I think she did Menace to Society first, because if I remember her filmography, I think she had just done Menace to Society, and I think she did a comedy film before she got cast in Demon Knight.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she was in Jason's Lyric too, I think. Right?
Yeah, she was in Jason's Lyrics too. Yeah. So yeah, she did. I thought she did a pretty good job, even though. And I love Billy Zane in the whatchamacallit.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. I love him. Yeah, he's just like, just typecast him as a bad guy all the time. Between that and Titanic, like I hate that, but I like that guy, and so it was definitely a good movie. It was a great. I liked it. I liked all those little Tales from the Crypt movies. That one and the other one, they had the vampire one, which was horribly cheesy with Dennis' face. But yeah, I liked it.
That one was way over the top.
Yeah, and I think I liked it. That campy, cheesy. I think Dennis Miller was the main character, but
Dennis Miller. Yeah. Out of all people to have a straight man, I don't even know why they cast Dennis Miller. He seemed not the type to be the hero type.
No, he was not. And I think that's why it worked, because he was not, it was like an anti-hero almost. Like he just had that, I really don't want to be here, but I gotta be here, so I'm gonna have fun while I'm doing it. So I got off with him back then.
Say hi to Jenna Rose. She's at a YouTube channel called The Horror. Say hi, Jenna.
Hi, Jenna.
Yeah. One of the other things I actually found surprising, when you take a look at 28 Days Later with Naomi Harris. Now, she is a woman who takes no she's no nonsense. She really does her best to express to Jim what's going on in the world, and the fact that when her friend Mark is somewhat infected or could be infected, she doesn't hesitate. She kills him with the quickness. What do you thought about Naomi Harris in 28 Days Later?
I probably would do the same thing that she did. Everything. Whack. Like, I ain't taking no chances. You ain't getting no last requests. I'm not trying to hear anything you got to say, because you got about 4.5 minutes before you turn, and that's about 4 minutes more than I need to have you doing something crazy. So I liked her character, because she did not play. She played no games, and made sense. And if you think about how Black people are just in general, like, if they see someone turning into a zombie, like, the reaction is like, oh, hell no, I'm going to kill you. Or I want to get the heck up out of Dodge. We're not going to talk. We don't want to try to save anybody. At least most of the folks that I know, and growing up in North Philly, that's just my consensus on the whole thing. So it's I liked her role. It was definitely more realistic.
So
From where I stand.
yeah, just to let everybody know, we're both from Philly, so we're representing Philly tonight.
Yay!
Yeah, and if only we could finally get Romero in here, then we'd really be Philly strong.
Exactly. I look that's one person I can't link with. His time frame. We did one little live thing once, and you just the movies he hated and the movies I hated. Two different. I don't think anything. So yeah, we just probably spend the whole time talking about movies we hate. That people, it's just like this opposite thing. Like if I like it, chances are he's going to hate it. He just tends to not like good movies. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But one of these days it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna finally get together and just have Black Love, because that's one of the things I wanted to create was a Black Love Horror 2 segment where the three of us just get together and talk about all the horror movies that we love and hate. Because
yeah, that'll be the well. If you do it again, let me know because I have a nice list of movies. I'm not about starting.
Well, what other Black final girls did you have that you were able to find?
Oh wait a minute, let me get my list. I got my list. I said I probably wouldn't do this because it was a bad, terrible movie. The worst movie I actually sat. I think I left to it before the ending. That Black Christmas remake. Yes, crappy movie, but Black girl did survive at the end, and I don't know her. The chick, she's on the matter of fact, she's on the Charm reboot, which actually is not as bad as people said it was. It's actually pretty good. Elise Shannon, and I only know that my little cousin's name, and she was in. She didn't die, so the movie was trash, but at least she made it. So
speaking of that,
give credit where it's due.
Well, speaking of that, you said you actually liked the Charm reboot.
It's not bad. The actresses, they're pretty good. I like. It's not bad. It's not the original. It's not better than the original by far. It's okay.
Yeah, I really haven't seen the new Charm. I have an Australian friend. She had a channel called The Movie Oracle, and she really did not like the new Charm at all. she almost did a 40-minute half rant about it, about how bad the pilot episode was. Now, like I said, I haven't seen it, so I can't make a determination whether it's bad or good. So I can only go by a person who might like it. I was really, I really wasn't really a fan of the original. I enjoyed it for what it was. I actually called it right because it was more of drama with one of the sisters with some supernatural stuff mixed in. And I called it Buffy Light, where Buffy Light was just purely just supernatural with a few little drama elements in it, but they were more drama and you had little supernatural elements. I guess that's why I really didn't get into the series, but it had its moments.
Yeah, it was good overall. I liked it. I mean, I liked it when Shannon Doherty was on it. That was more my favorite time frame. And then they brought in Rose McGowan as Paige. So I was like, okay. At first I had to get used to it, but then I was like, you know what? It's not that bad. And then I just got hooked. So all those little 90s shows, Buffy, Angel, Supernatural, all that stuff, I just stayed hooked. Supernatural just happens to still be on, but for the most part, all those little 90s WB shows, I was just like, okay, I'll watch it. And like everybody else at that time frame, especially like around like 99, I was already at high school, and half the time I didn't have anything else to do. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch this. And I got but the new Charm isn't it's okay. It's not great. Like I said, this is a very guilty pleasure. And I adore all actresses, and the fact that they made them minorities, I think that was actually pretty cool. So.
Well, boy, Troy said, tell Romero to fix his schedule. He said the three of us need to get together.
Look, y'all, we need to go on that Facebook group. Tell them, get it together. Get it together right now.
I'll school them. Don't worry, Troy. We're going to get this together because the three of us, this is something I've been trying to work on since I started my YouTube channel, to get the three of us together, because we need to have more black people representing horror here on YouTube. I mean, there are some, but we need more.
Yeah, it definitely. It's not too many black horror trends. Like I know a lot of black people that have like movie reviews in general, and they talk about all different types of movies. But it's blacks in horror and black horror films, horror film enthusiasts. We exist, but it's just like that's just my thing. Like I have friends where I'll say, "Hey, let's go to the movies." Like I wanted to go see what was it? The last I remember it was a Evil Dead when that reboot came out, that remake. I was wondering, I couldn't find anybody. So my coworker, she felt so bad. She was like, "Look, I'm gonna let my brother go with you because he wants to see it, and him and had a split. He needs to go out, get out the house. He's being depressed. It's getting on my nerves. You and my brother go." So we met up at the movie theater and we went to go see it. And we enjoyed it, like because he was into horror movies, I was into horror movies. So it's definitely we're out there, not just blacks but Latinas and everything. Me, because I got to represent both. I got to represent both sides. So like we exist, but it's such a small group of us being represented online and on TV. And I think that's probably why there's so few black heroes at the end of the movie or black final girls at the end of the movie, because they don't really think that there's a market of us out there. And changing as people vocalize that. But yeah, if you can get it going, Monty, I'm all here. I'm right here. Just let me know when you're ready. I'm waiting. I'm down. If I got to clear my schedule,
I'll try. I'll try my best to get this together, because that's something I want to do. That's another question that I was going to throw at you, because it's one of the things that I've seen lately when it comes to horror conventions. We really don't see a lot of black people, actresses in horror conventions. When we see horror conventions, we see all the main known people at horror conventions. Like we see Heather Leathercamp, we see Kane Hodder, we see all this. It's very rarely do you see black actresses that have been, I guess, final girls in horror movies. Do you think they're afraid that they're going to be typecast if they went to these conventions?
I think so. I really, really do. Because even when I want to go with friends to the horror conventions, they're like, I don't know if I don't want nobody to see me going there. And they're just really apprehensive just because they're worried more so about what people are going to think. And I think a lot of the black actors that have been in movies, especially in the past, like I know the chick from Nightmare on Elm Street 5, she's been at a few conventions here and there. I had a friend of mine that posted a picture of her at a horror convention. But and that was a long, long, long time ago. So they will go every now and again. But I guess because they haven't been so popular in the past, it's like, why am I going to go? I was the person that died in the first 5 minutes of the movie. Why am I even?
Yeah, because my boy Ben Grimm just made an excellent point, because the black girl that was in the craft, she wasn't invited to go to the convention like the other actresses were, and I'm like, well, why not? She was part of the movie. She wasn't killed. She was part of the main cast, so why not invite her?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and it can't be, oh, she's busy and this, that. I really think it has to get better in Hollywood, and it will, hopefully, as time goes by. But the fact that I didn't even know that she wasn't invited, and to have the entire panel there and not have her there, that kind of sucked, because she's a good actress and she's been on other stuff in other stuff since that, and it's a shame.
Yeah, Rachel True. Yeah, that's kind of a thanks, Ben, for that. That's kind of a smack in the face, because she was part of that cast. She did represent herself well in the movie. So why not invite her on to when you have these horror conventions? Can't just have everything. That's a big slap of the face to me.
Exactly. Yeah, it really is a slap in the face. Like, I'm angry just thinking about it. Like, why gotta invite her? Like, she was the best. Like, don't get me wrong. All 4 of the main witchcraft, the cast of the females that played the witches, they were all good, but yeah, they really should have played her and had her in the movie, like had her in a panel somewhere. I don't know. That makes me happy. And then they're talking about bringing another craft movie. If I don't see her involved somewhere, I'm not seeing it. They won't get a dime of my money. Just stream it on somewhere. Because I really did enjoy it, and the fact that she was in it, yeah, she should have been invited to some panels. It's really sad, and I would like to go to a horror convention and see more of us being represented. Hopefully, it will change. I know the guy from Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5, or no, 3 and 4. I'm sorry, Kincaid. He's been in some movie panels, but I know all of the people involved with that, from Wes Craven and everybody else before he passed away. When they have those panels, when they have those conventions, they do have like such a strong following, and I think it depends on the movie, because a lot of people weren't into the craft when it came out. It didn't have a really large following to begin with. It became a cult later, but I think it depends on a movie, because when I look at like Jason movies, for example, a lot of those actors and actresses that have been in the Jason movies, even like the Final Girls, for example, I couldn't pick them out of a lineup. Wouldn't be until I would go back and watch the movie, like, oh yeah, that's who that was. They're really, during the 80s, there was so many bad slasher movies coming out and just not great horror movies in general, that it was just like these see them and forget them type of characters, and the actors and actresses, you wouldn't hear about them again, or you would see them in something else and you'd be on the tip of your tongue. Who is this person? Why do I remember their face? So it hopefully it will get better in general for horror movies.
Yeah. Looks like Ben came to the party a bit too late, but we'll get you to answer his question for him. We answered his question before, but just answer him about, do you like the new cast of Charm?
I do. I like it. I mean, like I said, especially you have one of the main actors, she's half black and half white. The other two are Hispanic, and to have Latina characters in a show, I think it works. And maybe I am biased because I'm part Latina and I'm black, so I would have some bias towards the cast. But when I heard that's who was going to be, at first I was bummed it wasn't the original cast, but I was happy that they didn't just get these random females from anywhere. They got a really good, talented group of people in the on the show. So I don't have a problem with them being in it. They changed and tweaked the part of the story to kind of fit their backgrounds a little bit more. The first season kind of came off with the social justice warrior type thing that kind of got on my nerves a bit. But as this season started, the second season, even though the viewership probably kind of waned, and it was actually better. Like the writing is a little bit better this season, and it got better towards the end of the season. So whatever they did mid-season, it got way, way, way better. And I actually enjoyed those three women. Like they were really talented. And when you get past the nostalgia for the original show, you can actually really enjoy it. I think that's what people have to get by. Like, it's not the original.
Yeah, because I think that's one of the questions I was going to ask my friend from the movie Oracle, is that I think what you probably need to do is try to get past nostalgia of the first Charm, because you want to give this show a chance. And I think if she'd have watched maybe 3 or 4 episodes, perhaps he would have gotten more into it, not just dislike what they did in the first one, because she did ridicule the lesbian part. She did say that the fact is that they didn't go much into the Latina culture, or try to talk more about Latina mystical mythologies that are based in Latino. They simply just had cast these beautiful Latina girls and a half black girl, and just did normal witchcraft stuff, not something based in Latina legend. I think that's what her main problem is. Was that
and I think they realized that in the show, and they still do typical witchcraft stuff, but as they learned more about their lineage and their mom, they started to do more. Like there's times where if you don't speak Spanish, I mean, you can still get through the show, obviously, but there's some stuff that they really do that's more tied into their backgrounds versus what the cast did on the original Charm. And like you can't really that type of show. Like I told myself when I watched the first pilot, I was just like, whatever. I wasn't crazy about it. Like it didn't do anything for me. I wasn't wowed. I wasn't like angered by it or anything like that, but it didn't do anything. It was just like, okay, all right, whatever. If I miss a couple episodes, whatever. And then one day, I forget it was on when something else should have been on, and I just happened to watch the second episode. Then I went online. I went on the little CW website, and I just watched and caught myself up towards the middle of the season. Like, oh, this actually is pretty good. Like the story kind of ties in pretty well, and they kind of like they still had the social justice warrior thing, and with the older sister being gay and all such stuff. I looked past all of that, and I actually saw the story that developed, and I actually enjoyed it, especially more so with the eldest sister, who's like 10, a half sister or whatever. But then come to find out that story is different. Like it actually panned out, and it was like a slow burn how it kind of drawed out for the entirety of the season, but it actually wasn't as bad as most people panned out, especially when you got past like the first 2 or 3 episodes. It actually was pretty good.
Yeah, I might finally give it a watch just to see it. Michael Lanton, he says hi, by the way. Obviously, we were going to bring up Latina Nyong'o. Yeah, I do agree that her acting shows the type of range that she has, because when you take a look at her performance in Us and her performance in Little Monsters, yeah, it does shows that she has great range, whether it's a dramatic role or in a horror comedy, because both characters in both movies are different. And I think she did an excellent job in both roles. I just hope that she doesn't get stuck in or typecast in horror films.
Yeah, I hope not. Especially, I liked, even though Us isn't the better of Jordan Peele's 2 movies, I enjoyed her because she had to play 2 different characters. Spoiler if no one hasn't seen it, which I would be surprised at this point. But the fact that she played, Adelaide, and then she played the other one. So, playing 2 different versions of herself. Actually, all the cast had to do that, but she really did stand out, and it worked. And it just shows just how talented she is. She's such an underrated actress. She's actually getting less and less underrated, but in the beginning of her career, I noticed a lot of people were just not feeling her, or she wasn't getting as many roles. I mean, I think after Black Panther, after that, her being cast in that kind of like helped push her to the front. But she's such a great actress. I love Lupita. I really do. I can't see her in more stuff. I really can't.
And I think that's another problem when you have some black actresses, because when you look at Octavia Spencer and you see she gets the Academy Award, and now she can't seem to get decent roles, and the next role she comes up with is Ma. Now, I really did not like Ma, because I thought, despite Octavia Spencer, she had a great performance in it. But unfortunately, the movie was just like, it was just typical PG-13 bullshit. It seemed like, they wouldn't go there. So, but I did like her performance, though.
I thought it was the only thing I enjoyed in the movie. I didn't like anything else in the movie. I hope she kills each and every one of these little kids, because they're getting on my nerves. So that was me. I was rooting for her. I saw it. They survived, and I didn't. I mean, I like the kid that played her daughter. I mean, she was okay, I guess. But I enjoyed her, and that was it. Like she was like, the Sixers when they first drafted Iverson, they tried to get him to carry the entire team. They tried to get her to carry the entire movie, and it just horrible. It was bad, but she was great. But it was good to see her in something different other than a nurse role or some type of helper or mom type of role. Like, the types of roles that she's gotten in the past. To see her in a horror movie and a horror lead and the villain on top of it. Oh, shows her range. I mean, she's always been a talented actress, so I'm not surprised that she did as well as she did. I just wish that the writing would have been better. And because I'm sure those other little kids, annoying teenagers, supporting cast, I'm sure they're good actors, and I've seen them in other stuff. But yeah, I definitely wish that movie would have been written better because it has such great potential.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was obviously I got to bring up Halle Berry and Gothica. I'm pretty sure you've seen Gothica, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think about that particular role for Halle Berry, especially at that point in her career? Because I actually thought it was a different role for her, and I actually kind of found the movie somewhat similar to What Lies Beneath.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen those. It definitely was a different role for Halle Berry.
Mm-hmm.
I won't lie. When I first saw that movie, I wasn't crazy about it, and I don't know. That was because I was a different person during that time in my life. But I was crazy about the movie, but I did like her. I think with Robert Downey Jr. was in it too.
He was in it. Yes.
You know, yeah. I enjoyed it. It wasn't bad. I had to go back and watch it later in life, like a couple years later, like recently, like maybe like 2 years ago, and I was like, oh, this actually isn't as bad as I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I thought it when I first saw it in the theater, but as far as Halle Berry goes, she's phenomenal in most of the stuff she's been. She's had some not great movies.
Catwoman.
At least she looked good in the outfit. That's
the only good thing. It's like this. Because I heard all the bad shit about Catwoman, and it's not. They really just did nothing with the source material. They decided to come up with this new shit. And I tell everybody else, I don't mind when writers try to do something different with a character. Whether you're going to ignore half all the source material, you're going to try something different. I don't mind that, but it has to be good. This was shit.
That's worse than shit. Oh God, that movie was just.
Oh man! And then you're gonna have Sharon. You're gonna have Sharon Stone as the villain, and oh boy, makes my stomach hurt.
Oh yeah, that movie right there is. It will go down in history as the worst. Not only the worst comic book adaptation, but the worst just movie in general.
Yeah.
Definitely see her. I think, and that's not the only bad movie she's been in. She's had some poor movie roles. Wasn't she was in Baps? I think that was a movie. It was like one of those black comedy movies. That was just terrible. I'm upset. I just mentioned it and I put it in the atmosphere for someone to Google, but it definitely that wasn't good either. But Gothica, I enjoyed her role. It was kind of hard to kind of like follow at first, and like I said, I was a bit of a stoner and a drunk my name back then. So, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, because when you first look at it, you don't think it's a supernatural movie until actually you see some of the weird shit starts happening. I'm like, God damn, this is supernatural. Crazy. Because it's not advertised as a supernatural movie. You just think that she's a woman that's gone crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And a black woman that went crazy. Okay, surprise there. So yeah, definitely. I didn't expect what I was expecting, and I didn't get what I was expecting from that movie. But just goes to show, don't judge a book by the cover. And it was actually pretty. It wasn't too bad, especially the second time. So,
my friend Madam Raven says hi.
Hi.
All right, do you have any other final black girls on the list that you created?
That was. We haven't talked about. Oh yeah, I did mention earlier before I guess anyone noticed when I talked about Brandy, and I still know what you did last summer. She technically wasn't a final girl. I know she's more like the sidekick, but she didn't die. I'm taking that on. I'm taking it. I'm taking what I can get. I'm reaching. So, Brandy survived in that movie. I thought I was like, okay, that was good. I didn't like the movie. I didn't like the first one because it was like, all right, Scream came out and Urban Legends. They just kept pumping out these slasher movies once Scream came out.
Yeah,
And
what they were called screen clones.
yeah, exactly. So for her to survive, especially when Elise Neal died in Scream 2, I think.
Yeah.
The that she survived and Elise Neal didn't, even though I would have preferred Elise Neal to actually survive. I'm like, come on, give us one. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's what made me like that movie. That was it. That Brandy didn't die. As long as Brandy didn't die, I was cool with the movie. Because that for a while I thought she was, and I was like, all right, I don't want even. I think I was going to walk out of the theater. Like I was just like, I'm tired. Like we just keep dying, and I know that we can make smarter choices.
Hey, when they killed Omar Epps and Jada Pinkett in Scream 2, I thought everyone was going to walk out.
Yeah, I worked at a movie theater, and some people actually did. They was like, "Come on, man, this is BS. I want my money back." And I was like, "Okay, $5 or whatever." Definitely, it's like to see Brandy survive in that movie, and who's that? Who did I mention on my list? My list. Loretta Devine, Urban Legend. I think she was in both the first one and the horrible sequel. That I'm not even gonna lie and sugarcoat it. I can't remember anything in the movie except for the fact that she didn't die at the end, and I can't. That was another Scream clone. So those are the only ones and they're not really final girls. They're not like any main characters. They're side supporting cast. But they didn't die, so I guess I got to take a win when I can get one.
Yeah. Michael talked about Kelly Rowland getting killed in at the end of Jason versus Freddy was BS. I actually thought that she might have a chance to survive, but for some reason I thought because the story wasn't focused on her. But I thought she did a good job in it, but I wasn't surprised when she got killed, though.
Yeah, and the way she died at the end, trying to like be like the decoy for Freddy and Jason. No, because anyone with any sense, I'm like, you know what? Obviously, these two got some beef they need to handle. Let's get out of here. Yeah, the way she died, and she went ahead this whole monologue with Freddy, and then no. I didn't buy it. I didn't really care for her character in the movie to begin with. And I did not care for her character.
I was a bit surprised that she was cast. But I think she wanted to broaden her horizons and wanted to do something different. Because we all know Beyonce was in that horrible movie Obsessed. I think it was called Obsessed or Obsessive. I forget what it was. So I guess she wanted to branch. Yeah. So I guess she wanted to go on ahead and be in this movie as well. Hey, my boy. What's up, Mickey?
Need to stay. Oh, hi. Yeah, Kelly Rowland needs to stick to music. Stick to singing, baby girl. Stick to singing. That's what you're gonna do. That's another thing. Black folks in these movies that are not just black people, just musicians in general that can't act. And that say, hey, I'm acting. Not saying they fail. Like LL Cool J is a prime example of a rapper turned actor that is great. Will Smith is another example, rapper turned actor that's great. Whitney Houston was okay in the movies that she had, Bodyguard and Waiting to Excel, but it's not too many performers that I can perform on a stage, I can perform in a music video.
I can act.
I can act. Somebody give me a role. And Kelly Rowland, as much as I love her, as much as I love Destiny's Child and everything else, and even her solo career, no, baby girl. No. Nope. Yep.
Yeah, Troy. Yeah, I was very happy LL Cool J did not get eaten by a shark in Deep Blue Sea.
And he survived Michael Myers and H2O. Don't forget that. So
good one, Troy.
Well,
us brothers don't need to have another butt eaten by a shark.
no, we don't. No, y'all got enough troubles as it is. Y'all need to not get eaten by a shark. So,
Just like you said, take me back to the ghetto.
yeah, I'm taking my ass back to the ghetto. See, that's why I think that's why they kill off black people in these movies because they need to stay there behind where they were at. Don't go off branching off with your friends, doing some stuff you normally wouldn't do. Like what was that? Night of the Demons. Roger, the guy that jumped out the window and jumped over the fence, he was out. Like he's like, you won't get me. So the first black guy that I can remember that survived a horror movie. He left poor little final girl, little white girl was there, left her. He was like, I'm out. So it's definitely it's good to see some fun. He was one of those people who survived and I was happy. So it's good to see over the years that some of us do make it through at least to the end. We got to get some more final girls. Definitely got to get some more black final girls and not just supporting cast, but especially in slasher movies, because out of the list that I have, with the exception of Brandy and Loretta Devine, yeah, and that horrible trash ass Black Christmas remake that came out last year. It's not too many slasher movies. Like Aliens versus Predator was like science fiction horror movie, but slasher movies with like a Halloween, Jason, Michael Myers, Freddy. Well, no, you had the chick in Nightmare on Elm Street 5. She did survive her friend. That's because Freddy wasn't even thinking about her. So he was so she was cool. I think he came into contact with her and then that door opened and he went, oh, I got somewhere else to be. And he left her. She ran, did whatever she needed to do. So for the most part, with the exception of her and those ladies, I couldn't find. I was Googling it. I was Googling my ass off.
Oh yeah, because other than because when I was researching it before, right before February started, now researching it, they talked about other black actresses in horror movies, not black final girls, and there's some black actresses that done well. I can't remember the actress's name. I don't know if anybody in the chat knows it, but it was I think she was in Phantasms 2 or Phantasms 3. I can't remember her name, but she was kind of a badass black girl in Phantasm 3. I think she was Reggie. I think Reggie liked her a lot. And I think she kicked the tall man's ass. But I can't remember the girl's name.
I think it was the second one. It was the second one.
Yeah. It could have been a second. Yeah, it could have been a second one.
I think it was the second one. It had.
Mickey asked a question. He wants to know what are our thoughts upon Leprechaun in the Hood and Back to the Hood.
Okay. It's not is better than Leprechaun in Space. But I'm trying to find something good about it.
I can't. I'm trying to think if it is or isn't better than Leprechaun. I mean, Leprechaun in Space. Everything was going in space. So, and I thought it was just Leprechaun in the Hood. They are. To me, they are what they are. I mean, they're just B horror movies that are. If you love shit like that, you love it. But
it's a guilty pleasure. I think it's just one of those things where you kind of enjoy the franchise. You could see Warwick Davis that played Leprechaun. He was just having fun. It looked like he was just having fun. He knew that he wasn't getting an Oscar for any of that shit. So it was just like
he was having fun. He was having fun. He was getting steady work. And I agree with you. I agree with you, Mickey. My biggest problem with both is that they were too stereotypical. You had the stereotype, and that's one of the big problems I had. I mean, obviously, people got to do what they got to do in order to get paid, but it is too stereotypical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really was. That's another thing. When you have these movies in the hood, something in the hood, or just like I'm trying to think of other movies like that, but Leprechaun in the Hood, it was it was almost racist, so stereotypical. Like if you think, like I'm just sitting there thinking, like, what made them write this script? Who was behind that script and that screenplay? Like who
Mm.
thought that that was a good idea? I mean, I guess on like an idea, let's put the Leprechaun in the Hood. Let's take him out of his element and see how he would survive in this element. Because I'm thinking, all right, technically I do live in the hood. So if I would have seen this little, 3.5 foot man walking around talking about where's my goal, yeah, I probably would kind of act in a way where it's funny. I would laugh a little. No
Mm-hmm.
offense to people that are, little people or anything like that. I would laugh, especially that character. But yeah, not everyone in the hood acts like that, and to see them portrayed in that aspect, yeah, it, yeah, I'm just gonna like pass. Like I said, it's not as bad as Leprechaun in Space, but not great. I mean, it wasn't a great movie to begin with. The first one wasn't that good, to be honest.
Yeah, I know.
But like, I don't
Yeah.
think any of the Leprechaun movies were that good to begin with.
All right,
It's
thanks,
the first.
thanks, Troy, for giving. Gloria Lynn was her name. She was in
Mhm.
Phantasm 3. Her name was Gloria
Thanks,
Lynn.
Troy.
Thanks, Troy.
Yeah. And I'm looking like just past, like I got my little movies over there, and I'm looking at like the movies that uh had some black survivors, or not just survivors, but just like we even said black villains. The only one that came to mind was Death by Temptation
Mm-hmm.
and Vampire in Brooklyn and stuff like. Oh, Vamp with Grace Jones. She was. I don't know what. I have a lot of vampire movies, but Vamp with Grace Jones. She was the main bad. She was a villain and she was a main character,
Mm-hmm.
and she did great. And she didn't say not one word. So
Nope,
that's how
she didn't.
she couldn't. I guess she was mute. I don't know. She had this Nosferatu thing going on, so she didn't say anything. Everyone else in the movie spoke and
Book, yeah.
talked.
Mm-hmm.
But because she worked in a strip club, so it was vampire strippers. She was the main one, and it was her coven of vampires, and yeah. So before there was From Dusk Till Dawn, there was Vamp, and I remember seeing that because the guy from Nightmare on Elm Street 2, best friend Robert Ressler, he was in it, and that was probably the only because I might have had a crush on him back when I was like 12. I don't know. So I saw the movie. I was like, oh, and it actually, what's crazy? It had Dee Dee Pfeiffer, Michelle Pfeiffer's sister. It was actually really, really good. It
Mm-hmm.
actually was a movie. I'm not saying just because I like 12-year-old me just thought it was the best thing ever because he was in it, but I actually enjoyed it. And yeah, a black female villain in the movie. So still looking through my list. I'm just kind of like scanning and trying to
And then
see
trying to figure out.
trying to see other than what I googled online, because you got some movies that aren't really memorable, and like B movies where the black person does survive and makes it to the end,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, we're out there
Yeah,
somewhere.
we're out there far in between, but we're out there. Before I let you go, and before we call it the night, there's two things we got to talk about. Obviously, Chris Rock and the new Saw movie. Thoughts? Which is actually called Spyro. And no, I'm
Yeah,
not we're not talking about Medina. No, no Medina here. Not those
yeah.
boo movies.
You know what? I've told myself this a long time ago, and it was from, I guess, working as a projectionist. And it was, I'm not going to judge a movie by the trailer alone, because I've been surprised before and
Yeah,
I've been let down.
disappointed.
So I won't judge it by what I saw in the preview. Chris Rock is a great actor. So and I don't think he's going to be too comedic in this role, obviously, but I'm going to hope that it's good. I'm going to hope for the best.
Mm-hmm.
And judging from the trailer, I wasn't like I'm pretty much done with Saw movies anyway.
Mhm.
I'm done. And like after the last one, Jigsaw, I was just like, oh my God, please make it stop. So I'm done. I'm just done with the franchise in general. But I'm going to hope that this is fresh and it's different, and that torture porn shit is not my thing anyway. So I'm going to hope that it's a little bit better than what we've gotten in the last few soft sequels, because the first one wasn't even that gory and it was excellent. So yeah, hoping for the best. Please, Chris Rock, don't let me down.
And obviously, everyone saw the trailer for the new Candyman, the new Jordan Peele movie. Thoughts on that?
Oh, I'm hype. Because me and you both did like a trailer reaction to it. I did it on my break at work real quick. It was all low because I was trying not to like have my boss come in my office like, what the hell is you in here doing? So
I'm surprised you did it at work.
Yeah, I did. I took my lunch break. I was not playing. I was like, hurry up, lunch break, hurry up and put that on there real quick. It's nothing edited or fancy. I just let me hurry up and throw this on here. Like, IT department's probably gonna be sending me an email about personal use. I was on my lunch break. Mandated lunch break. Got to throw that in there again. But I enjoyed that trailer. I'm ready for it. I definitely, my thing was the whole creepy Destiny's Child, Say My Name, kind of like added an extra thing to it. Yeah, and Yahya Abdul Mateen, I'm stoked to see him. He's great. I think he's on Watchmen, which I need to finish.
I haven't watched that yet.
Yeah, I watched one episode. That was it on the pilot. If you haven't, just watching that, please, definitely watch it. And yeah, and he was also Black Manta, obviously, on Aquaman, which I think was cinematic genius. So
I know Kelly loves Aquaman because every time when it comes on HBO, she's watching it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right, night, horror fan.
Good night. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. I cannot wait for it to come out. I'm stoked to see what they're going to do with the property, especially after the last two sequels. So that last Candyman movie was just.
Troy saw your video because he said you want to see Yahya with his shirt off.
I did.
Yeah.
This was his running gag with Rome on his page, because I would make a comment about a movie and he kept saying, well, you just want to see the dude because the shirt is off. So it was like this for a while. Sure knows about it. Like, he just kept commenting on it. And I'm like, no, that's not the main reason why I enjoyed that movie. Or I think it was because I made a movie about Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds. And he was just only liked it because Ryan Reynolds had his shirt off or something like that. So I put that comment in there because I knew for a fact that him or Troy or Rome would both want to say something about that. So
I comment like, oh, look at her. Sweating on Yahya.
Hey, Yahya, take it off. Yay. I'm not even worried about Candyman. Just shirtless. Sold him.
All right. Okay, everyone. I want to go ahead and call this. We've been over here for an hour. I think I embarrassed Rose enough. So I want to thank you guys for coming. This has been another great live stream and another great celebrating Women in Horror Month. And obviously, we want to give more support for our Black final, not only for our Black final girls, but for Black people in horror, because they deserve the respect and the camaraderie and the appreciation that their white counterparts get as well.
Exactly. I look forward to more of us being in movies and getting represented. And not just movies, TV shows too. So it's definitely one of those things. And like I said, even if it's as shitty as Black Christmas, that last one that came out, a Black person survives on it. You give them their money.
That's right. Because. We're going to give you credit, even though that movie was a piece of shit.
Black person survived. You know what? I'll take it.
All right. Thank you, everyone that joined in the chat. I want to thank my guest, Rose, better known as Drunken Insominac Writer. Make sure you check her channel out. I did believe I have your link in the description for your channel, so give her a subscribe as well. She does excellent work. And, of course, those great videos, the Single Chronicles.
Yes. The day in the life of being single, 30 plus and single. I'm just going to say 30 plus. I ain't going to say 30 what. I'm just going to say 30 plus. Single. So definitely, I appreciate the shout out. And if you check it out, give it a like. I appreciate that too.
Of course. And, of course, y'all know what? You know what? I'll see y'all guys later. I do have my review up of The Invisible Man. Check that out. And as always, you know what I say, horror rules. I'll see y'all guys later. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Yeah.